Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning. We're back, and so is the cold weather. Man, we were doing so good, and then it snapped off this weekend. Been cold. Just one of them things here in the south. The frogs are croaking a little bit over here in the ditch, which is kind of funny. Supposed to have snow by the end of the weekend. I don't know. Crazy weather. But we're back here on a Monday. Hoping we have a few campers come in this week. We're all a little bit on the low side of work, which is kind of typical for this year, but it is a little bit off for what the RV industry is right now. The boys, I think, have got 4 basement airs this week, and we've got several other projects that we're working on, so gonna try to get them rolling this morning. So let's go up here and see what they got going on. And welcome back. All right, so Lewis has got this one opened up. We have determined that we did have a bad compressor 1. Compressor 2 was not coming on, so we took the harness apart, and guess what? Had some wires that have gotten chewed up in here. So that compressor is bad. We did put a wire straight to that compressor on 2 and ran it, and the charge is good. So we're gonna go in here and get this one changed out and then fix this wiring. Working on a 2020 Sabre. You can see they've got the room out of this. But look how bad. We looked at this last week. You saw where we put our fingers through the floor right there. But now that they've got it out, you can see how bad the floor really was. And so now they're working on getting the new floor in here. And they've got it all put together, and he's got the metal bent. Just trying to get it all put in there. But yeah, this thing had some water damage. So they'll peel all this blue off when they're ready. But he's getting close to having this ready to go back together. Another project Brandon's working on. We kind of started on this a few weeks ago, but I had to send the part off. Got this big Camelot in here, and the slide controller had some issues. The part on here was getting hot. It would work sometimes, and it'd get hot and quit working. And so we called Monaco to see about a replacement board. And of course, they don't make this board no more. This board actually operates all 4 slides. Well, Monaco don't make this no more, and so they sent us off to Lippert Components, which Lippert has taken this over. The problem is that Lippert now makes it where you have to have 4 individual, each room has to have its own controller. So you would have to have 4 new controllers, which you'd have to rewire. There's some wiring you got to do, but each room would have its own controller. And to do that was about $3,500. So we sent this one off to our friends out at Dinosaur Electronics, and they were able to go in here and replace the failed component. So we're going to get this in here now and do that, and then we've got a little bit of an aqua hot service on here that's still kind of giving us a little bit of a trouble on trying to do that, but we're going to be working on that now. So we'll kind of show you what's going on. All right, so next project here is this 1999 Winnebago Ultimate Advantage. Unit came in, basement air came in. She said it wasn't working correctly. Let me show you what we found. Okay, so this is an older basement air, and the reason I say this, I can't really see the tag yet, but the reason I can tell you this is because if you look at this board real carefully, you can see where something has burned up in here. But also, this unit is AC only. This is not a heat pump unit. One of the reasons we know that is there's no reversing valve connections on this board, but also there's only an indoor sensor for the free circuit. We don't have indoor and outdoor circuitry for that. So we are going to use the current model updated board, and these are the original contactors that are in here. We're going to go ahead and change them also. Now, one thing I'm going to show you here, because again, this is something that I hardly ever see, especially on Winnebagos, because most of them have been updated. But this also is the original thermostat, and this is something we hardly ever see. But that is it right there. That is the original Coleman Mac thermostat. So obviously got a little bit of updating we got to do on this. Board's all fried. We're going to change out those relays to make sure they're updated. I don't know what we're going to do with the thermostat just yet. We're going to see what that does and get it running and see what we got, and then we'll determine whether we're going to change the thermostat or yet out or not. Don't know yet. Well, the boys are close on this Sabre. They've got the slide back in. They've got the nice metal floor on there. They've got a little sealant work they've got to do. But they're close on this. Let's talk about this Thor Tuscany I have over here. So if you remember in several videos back, we had this Thor Tuscany that came in. It had a aqua hot with internal problems. It was bad, and we've been kind of waiting on Goodsams to come out and do their inspection and look at it. They have done their inspection, and we've got the aqua hot, the new one here. Let me show you what we got going on here. So there's the old one. It's out. Brandon got it tore apart yesterday, and the new aqua hot actually sitting right here, about ready to go back in. He's just been over here kind of getting everything prepped and ready. The old unit, the controller was actually mounted back up there. You know, obviously aqua hot has gone to these new controllers. It's all touch screen. So Brandon's working through the paperwork on the new install, and then we're going to go through and start getting everything kind of bled and done that way, but kind of in process of working on that. This is basement air that came out of this Winnebago Advantage. Now, remember we talked that this was an air AC only. This has no heat pump in it. We see these occasionally. They're not terribly common, especially in the older ones. I guess they were, but we don't see many of them nowadays. They're pretty much heat pump units. But somebody has been in here messing. We've talked about those. We don't like those. That's a no-no. And then I don't know what the heck they were doing here. I mean, just cut it off shorter so it doesn't have to worry about it vibrating. So we did do a continuity test on compressor 2 with the load wire from here back to the relay, and we've got no continuity. So there's an issue somewhere. We're gonna have to go back in here, and Lewis has got to pull this out anyways to put a different bearing on that. But we're gonna have to go in here and do some looking to see if we can figure out where the continuity. This wire has none, so don't know. It's severed, maybe something's going on. But once we figure out what's going on here, we can verify that this one runs. We'll see what's going on with the charge on system 1. This compressor is running, but we didn't run it long enough because we knew there was a problem here. We got to pull it out. So we're going to be diving into that. But first, we've got another one. This one here is going to be here for a while. We got some other stuff to do on this camper. But we do have another Winnebago that we're going to pull in this morning and start working on it. All right, so we've got the compressor replaced in this one. Just doing the vacuum down on it right now. So it is getting close on the vacuum. We want to be down around 500. So this one's getting close. Let me take you outside and show you the other one that we worked on just a few minutes ago. Okay, so Mr. Lewis has got this one out here being washed out. Now this was the one that was the air conditioner only. And if you remember in the earlier video you saw, somebody had gone in here, and I mean, this drives me crazy. This is the stuff that drives me crazy. So we actually went in here and repaired this and then got the taps in a little bit different location. But yeah, this keeps me up at night. So Mr. Lewis has got it out here, got it all cleaned out. We got to get it back in there. I can get it all vacuumed down, and then we can test run this one. All right, so Brandon's getting a little further along on this aqua hot. Now, we knew that we had a lot of freeze damage that we had found later after we did some testing on this. So he's going through this system now and verifying that before we get too crazy in here, just that we don't have a lot of busted pipes. And you can see the red hot supply line. He's got that all tore apart, but he's got the controller mounted. Everything's ready in this one except for the transfer fluid. We still got to get transfer fluid in it, but right now it's just verifying all the water lines are correct. And again, I mean, the guy told me, he said, I know there's some issues, but we just don't want to put a bunch of transfer fluid in there, and then find out there's another problem. So he's going to go through that and make sure to get all that resolved first, and then we'll start feeding the transfer fluid to it. Because if any of y'all have an aqua hot, that transfer fluid is like the cheapest thing in there. That stuff's very expensive, so we don't want to waste no more than we have to on that stuff. So he'll get going on that, and then we'll show some more here in a minute. All right, so Brandon's got the alcohol all finished up. We've had it sitting out here for a day running just to verify there wasn't no other leaks going on. Everything looks to be good, so we're gonna get ready to ship this one out the door. All right, so Mr. Lewis has got the basement air back in this Winnebago, and we've actually been doing the testing here this morning. We had 22 degrees differential on the air conditioner, but we've got a problem. We went to try to run the heat pump, and we've talked about this multiple times in videos where these switches are there's two switches in here, and what's happening is it has got a problem over here on the electric side. So we got a new thermostat right there, and Mr. Lewis is going to get that changed out now. Well, so after further testing, we have determined that the amp draw on the indoor fan motor was only like 1.4, and it needed to be around 3. So what's happening is we're seeing a freeze up on that coil because we're not moving enough airflow. Now, he's got the motor. We're going to get that changed out, and then we'll put this in and retest this. But you can see how I redid all of this and this was vibrating really, really bad. So we've kind of zip tied. Zip ties are our friends on these things because anything moving and vibrating is going to break and cause problems. So we're going to get the new motor in there and retest. All right, so after further testing on this, we found out that motor only had like 1.3 amps, and it should have about 3.5 amps. And so what was causing it to do was, because it wasn't running at full RPM, it was causing that to freeze up. So we went ahead and got this motor changed out. Now, this motor Coleman used fit 2 different style basement airs, so you have to pay real good close attention, because reversing these wires will reverse the direction of how that motor turns. So once we got that in there and checked it, Mr. Lewis was actually getting 27 degrees differential, which is kind of an enigma on those, but that rascal's cold. So we had a customer that contacted us about a week ago now. Bad refrigerator, warranty through Goodsams Aftermarket. So I told him, I said, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge because Goodsams is a little difficult to deal with on certain items. And so he said, no problem, let's get it worked through. So sent our guy out to do the troubleshooting, determined that we had a blockage in the Norcold 1210 cooling unit. So got all the paperwork filled out, called Goodsams. They tell me that Norcold has changed their policy on warranty, and their refrigerators now have a 2-year warranty. I've been dealing with Norcold now since 07. Always on their ammonia refrigerators have had a 12-month warranty. I said, ma'am, that doesn't even seem right to me. But you know what? I will call Norcold and find out. So I called Norcold, hour in the queue. Told them what was going on. They went, Goodsams, let us email you over the certificate for warranty. So they sent it over, 12 months. So call back, get all the information loaded. Okay, well, it's over $1,500. We got to send out an inspector. This was on Monday. Wednesday, I'm calling. What's going on, guys? Well, the inspector was supposed to be at your facility 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, well, the inspection has to be done 65 miles from here, so that ain't gonna work. I said, well, let's send an internal email. So I called on Thursday. Well, not sure what's going on. We'll send another internal email. I called today. They said, well, not sure what's going on. Let's send another internal email. Well, I called the customer to give him a heads up because it's been a week. No answer. He's getting a little frustrated with me. He says, well, the inspector was out today and did the inspection. Well, they never do the inspection unless one of us from the dealership is there. So how'd they do the inspection? So I call Goodsams. What's going on? Well, we don't know. But here's the 800 number for the inspection company. Why don't you call and find out for yourself? So we call the inspection company. They're like, oh, we're not sure what happened. We see all the pictures are in here. Looks like the inspection was done. Okay, well, why didn't you call us? Because we're supposed to have a rep come out and be there when you guys do the inspection. Yeah, not sure what happened. So I called back to Goodsams and tell them what happened. They're like, oh, how did you get that number for the inspection company? I said, well, your team gave it to me. Oh, that's against company policy. You're not supposed to have that number. You guys gave me the number. So now I'm sitting here waiting, because now they got to wait and see what the inspection comes back, because they're going to look at the inspection. If it ain't right, they're going to kick it out. Then I'm still going to have to send somebody out there to do the inspection. All the while, this customer, which I told him from the get-go, is now frustrated with me because why does it take us so long? Guys, this is what we deal with on some of this. So anyways, there's a fun Friday. I've spent a bunch of time. I'll never go back. All right, guys. So all week long, and we've been doing some training on some basement airs, and this is Mr. Tony Link. And where are you from, Tony?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. And guys, we came together on the YouTube channel here. He's kind of seen my stuff going on, and he had seen where the boys from Zomer's RV were down here doing some training on the basement airs, and Tony's been doing this probably not as long as I've been.
Oh,
I mean, you started when? What year?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but he's obviously growing his business. He's learning. He's seeing what we're got going on. And he saw the videos and said, man, that's intriguing to me. We got people that call about these things, but nobody's really got the knowledge. And so we kind of got together, and Tony came over. He's been spending the whole week with us over here, and we've had, I think we had, 4 units come through this week where we were working on basement airs. And so Tony got thrown into the deep end here, learning how to work on Coleman basement airs. And I mean, there's a lot going on, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you kind of seen what's going on this week. It's not anything that's unlearnable, but the units, again, are good units, guys. You just got to have the right people to work on it. Yeah. And this is why here we're building this network, guys, of qualified people that can work on your Coleman basement airs. You saw the Zomers in Iowa. Tony's over in Greenville, South Carolina area. And then you got us. And this is what we're doing, guys. We're trying to build a network of knowledgeable people to work on your Coleman basement air, and that we know can get the job done, and you guys can leave out, and you know it's going to be right, and you know it's going to be cold. And so I think we've kind of knocked some of the mystery out of some of that this week for you, haven't we?
Yeah, most definitely.
So
yeah, not as intimidating as it used to be, and it's all about understanding how it works.
Yeah, and there is a lot going on, guys. I'm not saying it's super easy, but I've spent a lot of years kind of figuring some of this out, but that knowledge is going to help these guys being able to troubleshoot it, determine what the problem is, and try to get you guys back on the road and confident that they can get it done and do it right for you. So that's why he's been here training with us this week. So you can go onto our website, ColemanBasementAir.com. I'm going to get a link up there that'll have Tony's information. And if you're over in the South Carolina area and you need help, this is going to be the guy to see. And if you got any questions, what's your website, Tony?
VLRV, just like on the door of the truck. VLRVservices.com.
Okay.
And definitely check us out on YouTube. You know, our YouTube channel is Your Friends in the RV Business.
There you go.
Yeah, so
now you got another channel to watch other than just mine. You got Tony's to watch too. So
well, don't forget Hillbilly RV.
And you got to get the Hillbilly RV guy. I've watched a few of his videos. Good guy. Lots and lots of knowledge right there. Again, Tony and I kind of be talking about him today, and really wish that we had some of the knowledge that guy's got. I mean, he's been around it for a while. So go ahead and check out his video. And if you got any questions, please feel free to reach out to Tony or myself, or again, the Zomer RVs. You know, you can call cousin Scott up in Zomer's RV and touch base with him. Check us out on the web, ColemanBasementAir.com. Thank you, Tony.
Man, thank you so much. Really appreciate your freely giving of the information that you've learned over all these years.
It's a network, guys. We're trying to build a network of qualified people to do basement air. That's the whole. We're trying to help you. We really are. Yeah. And I'm so covered up doing it. I need some help, and he's willing to help. So this is good for me. You know what I'm saying? So very good.
Into the wild blue yonder.
Wild blue yonder. All right, guys, go on there and check out his website. And again, ColemanBasementAir.com. Well, that's going to finish us up this week here at Shelburne RV. Now, you saw kind of what we had going on. I had a pretty busy week. Now, this guy right here, I'm not sure what he did all week. I mean, he says he was working. I just got to trust that he was. But yeah, I don't know. You guys will have to look back on the video and see if he was doing anything. Hey, thanks for liking and subscribe. Please go on there and check out Tony's channel there. Appreciate all the comments from last week. And remember, this video is
Cousin Gary approved.
Y'all take care now.